Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
everyone.
Hi, guys. Well, hello and welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Annie. I'm the Chief Mom Ambassador here at Mom's Meet, and I'm with Chrissy.
Hi, guys. How are you? It's been a while. I feel like we haven't been on one of these in a little bit.
I know. It's so good to be back. And today the title, as you can see, is "Moms Are Reviewing Cookies for Breakfast." And if you're wondering, no way, no, there's no way I'm going to give my kids cookies for breakfast. Well, you might change your mind after you after you see what we have to say here.
Yeah,
Well, we are so excited to have Susie Allport joining us today to tell us more about Susie's Smart Breakfast Cookies. So thanks so much for joining us.
I'm so excited to be with you and excited to talk to your moms about the importance of omega-3s and about my breakfast cookies.
Great.
Well, yeah, we're super excited to learn more. But before we jump in, we did want to share a little bit more about Mom's Meet for those of you who don't know what we do. So Mom's Meet is a large online community of moms who are passionate about raising healthy and happy families. So you can go to momsmeet.com, sign up to be a mom ambassador, and that way you'll be able to sample really great products for free. So yeah, make sure you sign up and learn more at momsmeet.com.
Yeah, and this event is brought to you by Susie's Smart Breakfast Cookies. So we can't wait to learn more from Susie about her delicious omega-3 breakfast cookies for kids and adults. And as always, we have some really great prizes today. So four lucky winners, I know, we love the good prizes. Four lucky winners will receive a mixed box of 12 breakfast cookies. Susie, can you tell us more about what's in those mixed boxes?
Sure. Each of these boxes contain 3 of each of our 4 delicious flavors. So 12 in all, as you said. So there are the orange cranberry nut, that's the original, the gingered apple, the banana coconut, and the cocoa. Now, all of these are made with whole grain oats and dried apples and other fruits, and they're all natural, of course. And they have a wonderful home baked taste. So the gingered apple tastes like your grandmother's kitchen smells during the holidays. The banana coconut is like your favorite banana bread. The cocoa, which is my grandson's favorite, I modeled after a chocolate torte I once had in Venice for breakfast. And I think of it as just the right amount of chocolate for breakfast. They my grandsons always have them toasted, but you can have them toasted or microwaved, or they're great at room temperature as well.
Well, that sounds so delicious. We have a bunch of comments from our moms who are like definitely saying how wonderful this sounds. I love your descriptions of how they were found as well.
Yeah.
So moms out there, obviously we want to hear from you too. So let us know, what do you look for when it comes to breakfast options for your family? We want to hear from you about this, and let us know if you would ever consider a breakfast cookie like this too.
Yeah. Well, Susie, I feel like I'm your target market because I'm always looking for something that's easy, healthy, and on the go, and that keeps me filled for a long time. So you hit all the check marks for me.
Yeah.
That's great. That's one of the great thing about these breakfast cookies is you just throw them in your backpack or your purse, and you know that you or your loved one will always have a really healthy, satisfying snack that's going to get them through whatever the day brings, be it sports or work or travel, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
that during the school year, mornings are super hectic. I know all moms are going to relate to this. So I know for our family, we get in this rut of having the same thing every morning, like something super easy. Like I know my kids have their same go-to cereal every morning. So I'd love to be able to switch it up and add in other options, but it's, kind of sometimes it's not easy to find those healthier options. So that's why I just think this is such a genius idea to have this type of product.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. And, I love the idea of the breakfast cookie, and that I had mentioned this before. It hits all of those things that are right for me and my family. So, summer's coming up. And you would think with summer things slow down, but I feel like that never really happens as a mom, right? Or let's be honest. So between, camps and sports and activities. So having that convenient breakfast that I can either give them as they roll out of bed or as we're running out the door, which is more likely, it's perfect for those mornings where I'm struggling to get all of their camp gear, put sunscreen on, or, find their water bottles, all of that. It's perfect, convenient on the go breakfast.
Right. It's really, it's the breakfast you can eat in one hand, but it's the healthy breakfast you can eat in one hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that was kind of one of the reasons why you wanted to create the cookies, right?
Well, yes, I definitely wanted, it actually was something I discovered about the cookies after creating them, because I created them for the omega-3s, but I didn't realize that I had created the ultimate convenient food, really, that you just, it's just the grab and go breakfast.
Yeah. Well, if you can tell us a little bit more about your background and what inspired you to create these cookies, it'd be great to hear.
Okay. So in my former life, I used to be a science writer, and the last book I wrote was a history of the omega-3 fats. Now, the omega-3s, most of us associate with fish, but all the omega-3s originate in the green leaves of plants. So fish get their omega-3s by eating the green leaves of the ocean, algae and phytoplankton, or other fish that have eaten those green leaves. And after writing this book, I was so impressed with the importance of these omega-3s in our diet, and with the fact that most of us in America, at least, are deficient in these essential fats, that I realized I had to do something else with this knowledge. I just couldn't go on and write another book about a different subject. I really had to use this knowledge. And I'd always been a cook and a baker, so I started fiddling around with our favorite family recipes and realized I really could add these essential omega-3s to those products that I was already baking at home. And pretty soon friends were asking for them, and I saw the opportunity of creating a business, one that would actually increase the omega-3s in the American diet. So it's very rewarding.
That's a really neat story. I didn't know that you were a science writer. That is just like you're a jack of all trades.
Right.
That's really cool.
Now all I write are, blog posts and things like that, but that's okay. It was a good background.
Oh yeah, I'm sure all of your blog posts are very grammatically correct, and that's great. Well, we love supporting women-owned and run businesses, especially ones that make extra delicious treats. So
yeah, absolutely. And I love the whole bit behind the omega-3s, and honestly, you're right. And anytime I think about omega-3s, I think fish products or fish oil, and I'm thinking it's very difficult to give kids fish oil or those kinds of products. So I absolutely love it. Now, could you tell us a little bit more about why do you think having Susie's Smart breakfast cookies for breakfast, why is it a smart choice?
Well, it's a smart choice for so many reasons. That besides the whole grains, there are 20 grams of whole grains in each breakfast cookie, and then there are the dried apples and the other fruit. But on top of that, there are the 2 grams of vegetarian omega-3s in each breakfast cookie. Awesome. And what's also important is that there's a healthy balance between the omega-3s in these cookies and the omega-6s. And that healthy balance means that the omega-3s are actually going to be effective and wind up in our cells. The second family of essential fats, the omega-6s, actually compete with those omega-3s. So if you don't have that healthy balance, you're just not going to be able to use those omega-3s.
Mhm.
And those are some of the great reasons. Then, of course, there's the 5 grams of fiber in each breakfast cookie and the 7 to 8 grams of protein. So it all adds up to a really smart choice for breakfast.
Wow, I feel like I'm learning so much just from hearing you talk about this. And yeah, you're right. I mean, the amount of fiber in these is really awesome. So this is the cocoa flavor. But yeah, I mean, it's so important that our kids are getting enough of that, and having it, making it into a cookie, of course, makes it really easy to give it to them. I mean, I don't think I'm going to have to twist anybody's arm to try to get them to taste this. Yeah. And then, they'll get over 20% of their daily fiber intake from this breakfast, which is awesome. And I don't know if we said this earlier, but we're going to be tasting some of these cookies. So you guys want to stick around to see that.
I think we always make our moms really jealous when we do the tasting portion.
Yeah.
Well, something I noticed when I tried these, because I tried these before, just to kind of taste a few of the flavors. I was really impressed. I was actually telling one of my coworkers, it takes a lot for me to eat a food that will keep me full for longer. I eat small snacks for the day. And I ate one of these cookies and it kept me full for a couple of hours. Like, that is a big feat for me. I was really impressed by that. So what would you say make these cookies fill us up in a way that other baked goods don't?
I'm really so glad you noticed it. I think that's one of the greatest thing about these cookies, because you have one and then you're good to go. They're so satisfying that you're just not thinking about food in the back of your mind. You're just ready to focus on whatever it is you've got going ahead of you. And so it's all the combination of the whole grains and all those dried fruits. But then, of course, there's the fat. Now, most of us have been told to shy away from fat, but omega-3s are a kind of fat that we absolutely need to have in our food. And having enough fat in these means that the cookies are really satisfying. And you'll find that with your kids, otherwise they're just wanting more and more and more. And then you finally give them something that's actually satisfying, that hits all the bases, and they're relaxed and they can go about their, doing what they're doing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about the fact that the kids constantly want more. I mean, my kids are snacking all day long, and I don't even understand where they can put all those snacks in their little bodies.
I know they can bury them, right?
Especially now that, the kids are home from school with schooling. I'm like, I find wrappers. I'm like, what are you guys doing? I don't even know.
So, Susie, where do the cookies get their omega-3s from? I mean, there's a lot of different sources of that.
Right. But these are vegetarian sources, and so it's the ground flaxseed and the canola oil. And we only use the non-GMO expeller pressed canola oil in our products. And that's the finest oil out there. And that's where they get, where omega-3s come from.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about omega-3s and the omega-6s. So why are omega-3s so important, and who would you say needs them the most?
Well, we all need them. They're the speedier fat. And when they wind up in our membranes, they just enable everything in those membranes, all the enzymes, to move optimally. So we all require the omega-3s, but children with their developing brains and pregnant and nursing moms with their developing fetuses and developing babies have the greatest needs for them. Now, all of us, after we consume the omega-3s and process them in our bodies, are going to concentrate those omega-3s in all of our speediest tissues, which are our brains, our eyes, our hearts, our muscles, etc. These are the speedier plants. The plants use them for photosynthesis, which is their speediest activity, and we concentrate them and use them in all our speediest tissues.
Wow. And that's so interesting that it's vegetarian omega-3s. Again, like I always thought it was, you had to get those from fish or animal products.
Yeah.
And so I love that option. And pregnant or nursing moms, again, you know what? You can indulge in these wonderful cookies and know that you're doing good.
Yeah, you could just tell your doctor, don't worry, I've got it taken care of.
Exactly.
Well,
so we're going to be tasting these awesome cookies in a few minutes. But if you're interested in trying these for yourself and learning more about them, make sure you head over to susiesmartcookie.com. And we have actually a special promo code for you guys. So you can save 20% off all their products through May 26th. Use the code MOMS, MOMS, for 20% off. So this excludes subscriptions and it's only a one-time use, but make sure that you check them out and you get some for yourself. So next, are we ready to try these things out?
Oh yeah, it's our favorite time, the sampling, right? So we're so thankful to Susie. Susie actually sent us like a really nice box of all these assorted flavors. I was laughing. I had to like hide them from myself because I only left like 4 flavors for this event, for the Facebook Live. I was like, oh, I have to stop myself. So it was really, really nice.
Oh, I'm so glad you liked them.
Yeah, they were really great. And of course, I had my husband and kids try them too, and they were a big hit. So I successfully hid my box of cookies until today. So I have some really good options left here. But
well, one of the other things too, Susie actually just shared with us that before we jumped on live here was that you can actually freeze them. Like if you get a shipment of the cookies, you can freeze them to save for later. That was a really great tip.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I have 2 flavors I'm gonna try, and Chrissy, you have 2 that you're gonna try, but I'm gonna try the Coke. I don't know why I have trouble saying this. Cocoa.
I
don't know why I can't say it. But guys, honestly, I mean, if I could have this every morning, I'll get my chocolate fix as well as a healthy breakfast.
Well, that's it. I don't have any cravings for sugar when I have these for breakfast because I've had this. It's a little bit of chocolate, it's a little bit of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And
go ahead. No, I was going to say that, the amount is, I think it's a very balanced amount. And immediately when I take it out, it's soft. It's not a hard cookie. And I love it's actually a really substantial portion. Like I feel really good about this portion.
Yeah. So this one, I have the banana coconut one here. And I think the orange cranberry nut. They are so big and like but you don't feel like you're eating, like you're filled for a while, but it doesn't feel like you're overeating. It's a really
you don't feel heavy from these.
Yeah.
And the outside, I like the fact that they are just a little crispy on the outside, crispy and caramelized, but then they're soft in the middle, and they tend to break apart in good chunks. So you need to hand one to a child in the back who's screaming. You can do that too.
It really reminds me. It almost seems like it was just a home baked item. It feels very homey to me. Which is a really good thing. And the other thing that I remember immediately thinking was, I'm so glad that it's not so sweet, because I for breakfast, I love savory types of breakfast. I don't immediately go to the sweeter breakfast. While of course my kids go to the sweeter breakfast for sure. But I really appreciated that this was just the right amount for me. It wasn't, it wasn't too sweet. It's just the right amount.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. I think of it as just the right amount of sugar for adults. But, I meant that the opposite way. Just the right amount of sugar for kids, but not too sweet for adults. I tried to get to that balance.
Yeah. And Annie had mentioned they're soft, but they're super dense too. So that makes you feel like more fuller. And I think to talk to the not being too sweet, because you have the dried fruits in there, first of all, you can really taste the fruit. Like the banana one, oh my gosh, it tastes just like banana. It's so good.
Yeah.
And the orange cranberry nut that I just tried, oh my gosh, you can actually, like, there's chunks of cranberries in there. So you know that you're getting actual, flavors that you're eating. And you know what? One of the other things, so I had mentioned I almost ate like the entire package that you sent to me. So coincidentally, the day after you sent me the kit, my son had like an 8:30 a.m. baseball game. I was like, who does that? But anyway, we didn't have time. We were running around getting all the gear together. I was trying to get my daughter dressed, everyone dressed out the door. We didn't have time, for breakfast. So we grabbed one. Actually, what I did was I grabbed gingered apple, which was my favorite. So that's, this container here. And then you also have these, the bite size, like the smaller ones.
Yeah.
I grabbed one of each. And so once we got to the baseball game, we sat down. I ate the full size cookie, and then I gave the small size to my daughter, and it was perfect. We were filled for the whole game. She didn't want to go to the snack stand. It was great. It was really great. But I loved having that option of the smaller bite size too.
Yeah. We developed those specifically for kids, but then we found that a lot of kids will eat the full size, but this is a perfect snack size. You're not going to spoil your dinner if you have that at 4:00, but it will really keep you going, and you're not going to be distracted by a rumbling tummy. It's just perfect for a good size snack.
Yeah. And I haven't tried the gingered apple yet, so I'm looking forward to trying it. So as soon as I opened the package, I took a smell, and I don't know, it has such a really fragrant kind of smell. It's really, really nice.
Well, okay. It's made with ginger puree instead of ginger powder, and I think that gives it a softer taste. It's a little bit more sophisticated than the banana coconut, so usually adults will have that, but it's my favorite lunch. I warm it up a little bit and have it with a cup of yogurt, and that's hands down.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I didn't think about warming this up, but that's a really good idea.
You gotta warm it up. I was on a camping trip, and we had them warmed up in the frying pan. It was like, let's go.
That's a really good idea to bring them camping. They keep you full for so long.
Yeah, this really, I mean, it's so delicious. And again, it's like there's not one flavor that's overpowering. It all works so well together.
The gingered apple was definitely my favorite. I loved, like I mentioned this before, like the chunks of fruit that you actually get in them. And you would think that if they're soft, like they might be a little dry, but they aren't. They are nice and moist. Like they're not dry. They're easy to eat. And I have to have a cup of coffee now, because now that you said that, like yogurt and coffee and heating them up, that sounds amazing.
No, that's it. Most people have them with a glass of water or milk or coffee or tea. That's for sure. But you can have them on their own. But
they're so delicious. So everyone, again, make sure you head over to susiesmartcookie.com. And you want to try them for yourselves. And make sure you use the code MOMS. Yeah, you're definitely missing out. Use the code MOMS for 20% off all their products until May 26th. Gosh, this was so interesting. I feel like I learned so much, and it's like, it's not just any like breakfast option, but it's such a smart option. I love that there's a science behind it, that you had such a mission behind it. And that, just choosing a smart cookie like this, we're helping, our kids get healthier and stay healthier. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
It's such a pleasure to be here. You two are just great. It's really a pleasure.
Well, to everyone. Yeah, everyone watching, remember to keep sharing, liking, and commenting for a chance to win. We'll announce the winners on Monday. So thanks again for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.